Welcome back to my channel, everybody. This is Dynamite Reads. I have already attempted to record this video one time, but my microphone decided, or not my microphone, Audacity decided that it did not want to cooperate and kept dropping the audio, so I'm just going to use the mic on the camera. It's worked fine in other videos, so it's fine, whatever, it's fine. And my voice keeps cracking, so I'm gonna have some tea with me. And yeah, so we'll get this started. Today, I want to tell you guys about this book, A Song of Wraiths and Ruin. Try and get the cover there. It is by Roseanne Brown. This is a really gorgeous cover. I am not doing it justice here. Really excellent book. This is a YA fantasy based on the author's, she was an immigrant from West Africa and Ghana, and so it's a lot of lore based on that. I really want to see an interview with her where she explains where she got some of the lore and ideas from for this book. That would be amazing. Okay, so I don't know, should I read the blurb? I think I will. So this is the blurb. This is the basic premise of the book because I feel like I would not be able to explain it as well. For Malik, the Solstacia, not sure if I'm saying that right, but going ahead. The Solstacia Festival is a chance to escape his war-stricken home and start a new life with his sisters in the prosperous desert city of Zaran. But when a vengeful spirit abducts Malik's younger sister, Nadia, as payment to enter the city, Malik strikes a fatal deal. Kill Karina, crown princess of Zaran, in exchange for Nadia's freedom. But Karina has deadly aspirations of her own. Her mother, the Sultana, has been assassinated. Her court threatens mutiny, and Solstacia looms like a knife over her neck. Grief-stricken, Karina decides to resurrect her mother through an ancient magic, requiring the beating heart of a king. And she knows just how to obtain one, by offering her hand in marriage to the victor of the Solstacia competition. When Malik rigs his way into the contest, he and Karina are set on a heart-pounding course to destroy each other. But as attraction flares between them and ancient evils stir, will they be able to see their task to the death? So, I think that explains it pretty well. Malik gets his way into a competition. The winner of the contest gets to marry the princess, Karina, who wants to kill whoever is her king, and he needs to kill her. So you can see how that's going to end very badly. So this book is a new release by the author. She's written some other things, but not anything that was fiction. And this is her first YA fantasy. There is going to be a second book to this. It's going to be just the duology. But it's just, I need more from this book. There are so many things that I have theories on. Actually, I don't want to say that. That's a spoiler. I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about it, but I also don't want to talk about it. I want to try and keep this as spoiler-free as possible. So I'm going to try. So there are some tropes in this book that I didn't really like, but it's done well, and the book is good enough that I can see past that. And then there's some world building, but you don't go outside of the city of Zaran a lot. I feel like there is enough talk of the culture and the diversity and things like that it makes up for it, even though the setting is kind of one place. So it could use a little bit. I want more from it. Not that it was bad. It wasn't bad. I really loved it, but I feel like in the second book we're gonna see more of the country, which is called Sandi. I can't say it, but the map is really cute too. I love a good fantasy map. And like, I like the dedications and the notes in the book. So I feel like, aside from the story in general, which did not end exactly the way I expected it to, which is nice for a change. I did not expect the ending the way it did. I saw some Goodreads reviews where they felt like it was boring and the pacing wasn't that great, but for me, I thought it was fine. I enjoyed the slow parts. I didn't have any problems with it. The magic system was unique. I want to know more about the cultures and everything this is based on. I thought it was interesting that the people, one of the things I liked in the book, that they, whatever day of the week they're born on is their alignment, which I have a theory about that and how it connects to magic, but I don't want to say anything necessarily because I want to try to keep this spoiler free. Anyway, so 7 days of the week there's 7 different symbols and they have it like tattooed on their hand. And it's like the sun, the moon, earth, fire, water, wind, and life. And so you can tell a lot about a person based on their alignment, that sort of thing, kind of like a zodiac, I guess. But it's not based on month or year. I don't know. I want to know more about the culture and more how she got that where she pulled some of this stuff from. Just like Evan Winter, like his is an adult fantasy. This is YA fantasy, but and it was a little bit more brutal, but I want to know more of the lore and all that stuff it's based on. It's so good. And it's very different from other fantasies that are more medieval and European Renaissance type. So I felt engaged through this whole book because you have Malik, who is trying to free his sister from this vengeful spirit. You have Karina, who is trying to keep her court from overthrowing her and grieving the loss of her mother. She also has chronic migraines, which is a form of representation that I liked in the book because it's representing chronic illness, which I loved. And I have a theory about her migraines, though. I don't want to say anything because it might be in the next book and I want to see if I'm right. Or if you have read the book and you want to talk about it with me, talk to me in the comments and do like a couple spaces and put spoilers and then space again. That way no one sees our comments unless they click on it. I have 2 theories in this book that I really want to talk about. The other thing, just aside from the story in general, I just really appreciated the representation in this book. There was LGBTQ, there was chronic illness in the form of migraines, there was mental illness. Malik has severe panic attacks and anxiety, and I feel like Roseanne did a very good job portraying that. And as someone, I haven't necessarily had panic attacks, but I've dealt with depression and anxiety and things, and like some of those tendencies. So I can kind of understand it. And then so we have LGBTQ, although it's really subtle. There's chronic illness and migraines. There is panic attacks and anxiety. There is the effects of war and colonization and genocide. There is racism, which stood out to me, especially with everything going on right now. Lots of stuff based on socioeconomics, grief and loss, and there's just so much in this book. And I feel like she did a great job. I think this is a great debut fantasy novel. I'm really, really interested in picking up the next book. I need it. I need to know more about the lore. I need to know what happens. I don't want to necessarily talk about the ending because I want to talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it. But I just really appreciated all of the representation, and it was done so well, like so well. Check out my Twitter for like a quote from the book that really, really represented very well what is going on in our country right now, and just replaced the word soldier with police, and it's very, very applicable to our situation now. But yeah, so world building was good, magic system was great, but I need more. And just the representation in this book and the character development was also pretty good, because I don't want to say anything without being too spoilery, but I feel like Malik and Karina do a pretty good 180 of themselves, because Malik and his panic attacks, he's very nervous. Speaking of his panic attacks, I like how he used that to his advantage towards the end of the book. I don't want to talk about it, but it was awesome. I feel like it was very well done. So overall, I really love this book. I highly, highly recommend it. Gave it a 5 stars, and I can't wait for the next book. It can't come out soon enough, just like Evan Winters. So yeah, pick up A Song of Wraiths and Ruin. You will not be disappointed. I will have a affiliate link in the description to purchase this book on Amazon. I get just a tiny, tiny little bit of that back if you purchase this book through that link. But I recommend picking up more Black authors. This will be my 3rd book review. 2 of them have been about Black authors. One is Evan Winter, and then this one. And I have loved both of these books so much. And as a fantasy reader, I need more of this. It is a different direction for fantasy. It brings in different elements. There are some things that are, of course, the same, but it's just a different take on it, and it's just so awesome, and I need more. And we need to support our Black authors. I have donated and done things on my end to help out during these times, but I feel like a way for us book lovers to support them is to purchase their books and learn more about their history and their folklore and all of that stuff. Roseanne Brown, this book released on June 2nd when a lot of protests and stuff were going on. Not that there's not any going on right now, they're still going on, and things are not done. and they won't be for a long time. But she didn't think her book release day was going to go very well with everything going on, and it actually did really, really well. And I'm so excited that it made her day, and we need to do that more. And there were some other books that I wanted to pick up, but I have such a long TBR, but this one stood out to me the most. So I picked this one, and I do not regret it. I put down the book I was reading to read this, and it was so good. I could easily reread it right now. So yeah, pick up this book if you are into fantasy, and click my link down below and support Black authors, watch some Black booktubers, support in just any way that you can. Follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, Goodreads. I try to keep up with Goodreads, but I'm not very good at it. I will have all of those linked down below. Thank you guys for watching and listening to me rave about this book. I tried to keep it as spoiler-free as possible. Nothing given away that's not in the blurb. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.